It's 9:30 in the morning. I've done a few hours of work and I've just arrived here at the office. But I wanted to chat with you quickly about one thing that's very, very important, and that's getting your first few clients. Now, I mentioned in one of my earlier videos that getting money in the bank is the most important thing that you need to do when you're starting out. Now, how you do that when you're starting out is very, very important, because you can go and blow a budget on advertising, you can blow a budget on expenses that you don't really need. The best way I have found is to use a combination of email marketing and social media. What do I mean by that? Well, email marketing has one of the best return on investments of any advertising channel. You can go out and use Facebook ads, you can use LinkedIn ads, you can use all this stuff. Paid ads are expensive. Email is very, very cheap if you do it the right way. It can be expensive, but if you set up the right infrastructure, you can do it very, very inexpensively. And if you're starting out, you want to do things on a shoestring. Once money starts coming in, then you can start spending on advertising, SEO, and all the rest of that. For immediate results with a low cost, email is the way to go. Now, you combine that with social media, because social media is essentially, if you've been around, of Yellow Pages, it's basically your Yellow Pages. And it's much better than Yellow Pages because, well, for one, Yellow Pages, no one uses that anymore, but LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it is, these are basically live databases which are updated by the actual individuals as opposed to some company which is doing it for them. So it's much more accurate usually. And for companies which are worth their salt, they're going to have their LinkedIn profile pages and they're going to have their company pages up to date. So it's a fantastic way of almost self-filtering and finding the best companies out there. So let's say you're running or you're trying out a niche that you've researched, and that niche is a marketing agency. Now, this marketing agency, you're going to have to niche down further. But once you've found that niche that you're looking to go into, then you have a basis for which you can start searching on. So let's say you want to focus on just marketing agencies in and around the Manchester area or the Midlands, right? So then that's one of your niches. That's how you can start to kind of narrow down your focus, where you're looking for businesses around that geographical area. So you have that localization. You go in and you start with those keywords that are going to be relevant to that particular area. So your geographical kind of targeting is within, let's say, the Manchester or the Midlands area, and your particular industry, let's say, is for dentists. So you do marketing for dentists around the Manchester or the Midlands area. There you go, you have a starting point. Now you will go to the most relevant social media channel for your niche. I don't know anything about dentists, but I'm imagining they're probably going to be quite active on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is probably your best bet. Go on LinkedIn, on the top, search for keywords relevant to that area. So there's a number of ways you can do it. You can search for potentially jobs that could be advertised for that, because then that would lead you to the companies. So let's say, obviously if you're looking for dental practices, then you could probably look for dental nurses or whatever it is. Go out there, search for those keywords, and then go and open the company page. Or another way you could do it is just type keywords which are relevant again to that particular niche. So you found, let's say, 5 dental practices that you think could be relevant for your business. Now it's time to niche down even further and look at the actual key decision makers. Now, for the key decision makers, it really depends on the niche that you're in. Okay, so if you're working with dentists, these businesses are not huge, maybe 10 to 50 people max. I would say the key person there is going to be the founder, right? So the key person that you need to reach out to there is going to be the founder or the operations manager. I don't know how dentists kind of structure themselves, but it's going to be one of the top people there. Now, you might say to yourself, isn't that going to be the case with every business? The answer to that is no. Because if you're reaching out to a 1,000 person company, if you're reaching out to the CEO, you're not going to get a response. There's a whole chain of command that you're going to have to go through. So smaller businesses like that, under 100 people or so, CEO, co-founder is the right person to reach out to. Now, before you reach out, it's very, very important that you craft your email in the correct way. That is going to make or break your reach out campaign. And before that, you need to actually find out their email address. Again, that is another art in itself. How you do that, making sure that it's verified, making sure that it is the right email, is again going to make or break your campaign. And the reason for that is that these providers, email providers, Google, Microsoft, Outlook, whatever it is, their job nowadays is to try and filter out as many marketers as possible, put them in spam, put them in promotions, basically make sure that you don't land in your prospect's inbox. Meaning that all the effort that you've gone through so far of finding your niche, finding the right businesses, the particular key decision makers, email addresses, and all of that time and effort is basically going to go down the drain. So it's very important that you set up the correct email infrastructure to be able to actually land in these people's inbox. It's not as simple as just sending out emails, because especially with AI, these providers are very, very good at filtering people out. So there's a specific system that you need to be able to set up to make sure that you're having a really high deliverability rate, and also a lot of your prospects are actually opening your emails. So provided that you've got that done, you then send out your emails. Obviously you draft the copy. The copy again is going to make or break your email campaigns, because that is going to determine whether that prospect actually opens your email or actually responds to you also. So a certain way of doing that, you need to be able to set up follow-ups and so on. But email in combination with social media is, in my opinion, one of the absolute best ways to get started and get your first few clients for your agency.